Stellantis seeks to pinpoint culprit who smeared feces in bathroom at Indiana factory. Here's the actual memo.
Oh, this is good. I have not seen this.
Wiping feces on the bathroom walls. The disability handlebars, the door latches, the sink handles.
I love the question. So it begs the question for us to ask, why?
Does it say that?
It says that.
You got to come up with some sort of feces nickname for Stellantis.
Stellantis stool. Stellantis stool.
Stoolantis.
Stellantis.
There it is. It was that easy. And here we are. Welcome to Spike's Car Radio. We're back with the Crew Show with Jonny Lieberman, Paul Zuckerman. You guys all right?
We're fine.
Are you having tics?
Yeah.
Are you stimming right now?
Yeah, I got to.
Is that what that's called?
What?
Is stimming or yips?
I think stimming.
Okay, it's not the yips.
I hear stimming in my house.
Get the yips.
Yeah. No, the yips are like a sports thing. It is Super Bowl Sunday, so there could be folks getting the yips. I don't know what that means. The Packers aren't in the...
I just like the Packers.
Yeah. But by the time the show airs, the Super Bowl will be over.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Do you want to make any predictions? I don't know enough about football to guess.
This is a tough one, man. I mean, the Eagles,
Just answer. Just who do you think's going to win? Let's see if you're right.
Eagles by like 2.
Wow. Yeah.
Eagles by 2.
I think the Eagles are going to win too. Yeah. I don't know if it's wishful thinking, but
they look.
I'll say Eagles by 6.
6. Ooh, that's
Zuckerman.
Those other guys are going to win.
Do you? Will you even watch the Super Bowl?
I will watch it.
Why? And what do you watch for? Like it's like I like
just
to,
so I can join all the other idiots in the country and I can participate in this group, American tradition.
Do you like? I like the ads.
Yeah.
Nah, they haven't been good for many years.
Ads haven't been good. Halftime hasn't been
Well,
good.
how do you know? You haven't seen them yet. They may have got it right.
No.
No.
The last good ad was all the crypto ads.
Very good, Lieberman. Those were good. ads.
That was fantastic.
FTX, Sam.
They arrested Larry David. They arrested Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Everybody got arrested.
I loved it.
See, that's what I mean. That was great. That was great entertainment.
Well, yes, but at like a month after the Super Bowl.
It was awesome. And then the music either elevates or it doesn't. Who do we have? We have Kendrick Lamar.
I mean, I bet you could bet on that. You know those crazy sites where you can bet on anything?
Yeah.
Like over under on the length of the national anthem, which is fantastic.
It's unbelievable.
Where have we got in a country that gambling
Here we
is
go.
now...
You're decrying we've gotten to that point of the show. We haven't even started the show yet.
Well, there was a
lot to talk
time
about.
you couldn't have smoking on TV. You couldn't have liquor ads on TV.
Yeah.
Now we're to gambling.
No, now you can gamble on anything.
Yeah,
People are gambling on this podcast right now.
Yes.
How many times will Zuckerman say things that Spike has to edit out of the show?
Can I bet on that?
6 in general?
Whose problem is that?
If I bet on that,
my
that's insider
problem.
trading.
I'm just waiting for when the escort sites are on Super Bowl. We can package booze gambling, and then we'll have the escorts, and then the
We
president.
call
of
them
Colombia,
sex workers. We don't call them escorts anymore.
Is
they're
that true?
respected.
Yeah,
Yes,
sex
sex
workers,
workers.
Sex workers.
But you're right. Now that they're a respectable demographic with a viable, acceptable job, why not?
Why
Have a
not?
Super Bowl ad.
And then at the finale is the president of Colombia coming out saying, "And buy my cocaine."
And buy my cocaine.
No, forget Juan Valdez. Maybe we should bring Juan Valdez back.
If you don't know what he's talking about, the president of Colombia said, "I don't understand why cocaine is illegal. It's just like whiskey.
Safer than whiskey.
Safer than whiskey." And there are a lot of gentlemanly users of cocaine. There are many of them who just a couple of lines and they're all fine.
A little bit of a gentleman's relish.
But
but there's not, right?
No. But it all goes
very quickly turns into a nightmare.
Right, and then you can participate in the gambling, the liquor, and the sex workers.
I think we've solved the Super Bowl problems.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about cars. That's why we're here. Stellantis seeks to pinpoint culprit who smeared feces in bathroom at Indiana factory.
How many times was this DM to you?
It was DM'd to me many times. Here's the actual memo.
Oh, this is good. I have not seen this.
It is unfortunate for all to have to deal with employment that continues to create situations that are both unsanitary and certainly disturbing. Wiping feces on the bathroom walls. The disability handlebars, the door latches, the sink handles, and the what does it say? And the and the piles being left on the floor does nothing other than subject our faculty, fecelty, we're going to call it, and what? S8M to potentially dangerous biohazard. So what the hell's happening at Stellantis? So this got picked up in the actual news. There's a story about it.
I love the question. So it begs the question for us to ask, why?
Does it say that?
It says that. It's like, why? Why are you doing this to us?
Where does it say that?
It's on the first.
Oh, yeah. So
But then
it
it
begs,
says, what is it accomplishing?
Somebody hates Stellantis. That's why.
and it's an all caps Y too.
Why?
Why? So they all caps the Y, but no exclamation point, and then just put that there. That's interesting. What is it accomplishing to perform such careless and disgusting act?
It's not exactly careless.
Wait, well,
it's intentional. it's careless.
But they don't even have the memo right.
I mean, Zuckerman, you're an expert on people defecating not in toilets. I think we've established that over the years. What are they getting out of this?
Okay, somebody hates the company. Somebody didn't get their vacation approved, their sick time approved. Something's happened to some employee to disgruntle the employee, and the employee's like, you know what? This is how I'm going to fight back.
Look at the second paragraph. Effective immediately, we have been directed not to clean up after such events. What? What are you talking about?
Now I'm banging the table.
With the exception being in front of the locker rooms, each bathroom found in this grotesque state will be immediately locked and taken out of service until further notice. That's a punishment.
That's collective punishment.
That's like prison where, you don't get your rec time now.
That's right.
There will be folks that have some complaints and concerns about this process, but we will no longer ask our staff to clean up these types of events until a detailed investigation is complete. There's going to be an investigation if needed. So it's like a murder scene. If needed, alternative methods may be used to help pinpoint
DNA.
the culprit.
We're going to take
CSI.
DNA. We're going to take DNA.
If needed, which means they might not need it. There's a taster or something that's going to come in. I mean, what are they saying? If needed. What's the other plan? If they don't need DNA, how are they going to figure this out?
Because by locking the bathrooms, they're going to get the employees to rat out. I mean, this is like high school. No one's going to get to use the gym. No one's going to get to use the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Who wrote
so
this?
Dumb.
Tyler Adams.
You're dumb, Tyler.
The well-being, health, and safety manager. Yeah, he's not.
Tyler, how's the well-being of everyone who has to hold their bowels all day? Is that good for their well-being?
And the assumption that all the other employees are going along with the pooper guy, that they're not in the same boat. This is one guy. You should be telling your employees, I'm going to figure this out. And I apologize to you Stellantis employees. I am sorry this is happening. I'll get this figured out so you can use your bathrooms.
And Tyler should say, you know what? We care so much. I'm going to be there helping to clean it up. You might actually get some points from the other employees. They might tell you who did it. Instead of Tyler sitting there like the principal or the warden.
No, it's like a prison population. Yes. Exactly. You're all going to suffer for the pooping of this one man or woman.
An engine plant is going to be thousands of employees. So you start locking multiple bathrooms. You have another problem on your hands. They're going to start shitting everywhere.
Maybe Tyler should go to work at Disneyland where they have a pooping problem too.
You know, when we had the fires, there was a guy that flew a drone into a plane and sidelined one of our big planes. Yeah. And they started to investigate him, and they started getting close, and he just confessed. Yeah. He said, I did it, and he's, did the right thing, didn't intend for the plane to be hit.
But still.
The Stellantis pooper is probably feeling the heat right now.
Okay, what we need to do
on it.
No,
this is like Silence of the Lambs. We're going to go to that lawyer that was pooping in the Pringles can, and we're going to go, okay, Pringles lawyer.
Rectum.
Yes, hannibal rectum. We're going to ask him, what is the psychological, what's the profile of Stellantis pooper?
Exactly. Stellantis, by the way, the only company, auto company that's advertising on the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Not affected by the Stellantis pooping at all. They're the only ones who are doing it. But look, if you're the Stellantis pooper, I want you to feel, all right, I'm going to keep your secret. You can reach out to me. You can DM me on Instagram, and we can talk about this. And if you don't want to turn yourself in, that's fine. But I want more details about why you're doing it. And hold on for 1 second. And what I'm telling you is I'm going to give you a platform. Whatever you're upset about, whatever is making you do this or why you're doing it, and even if it's just for fun.
And you can poop on the platform.
I'm going to communicate this to the world on your behalf. So you just reach out to me on Instagram, and I don't know how I'll know whether it's the real pooper.
You take a page out of OJ's book and you say, if I was the pooper, hypothetically, this is why I would do it and how I would do it.
We got to come up with some sort of feces nickname for Stellantis.
Stellantis stool. Stellantis stool.
Stellantis is great for
Stellantis. There it is. It was that easy.
Yep. Yeah.
Stellantis.
Hannibal Rectum and Stellantis. You're 7 years old.
I really feel like we accomplished something on the show. It was a bit of a rough start, but now that we've gotten to Stellantis,
we're rolling.
We're rolling. Let's make sure, Spike's Car Radio Nation, that we get Stellantis out there.
Hashtag Stellantis.
Hashtag Stellantis. Let's get it out there. You were just at this ice race.
I was.
And I got to tell you, I enjoyed watching the ice race. Is that what we call it? First of all, what is it called?
Fat International Ice Race.
And where was it? In Austria?
It's in Zell am See, Austria.
And whose event is it?
It's Ferdy Porsche's.
It's Ferdy by himself.
I mean, there's other people now. But
and
Ferdy,
Porsche sponsors it?
Porsche and Polestar and Audi all sponsor it now.
As far as I can tell, it looks like an oval on a glacier with guys dragging guys around on skis. But tell us what the event, I'm just processing it from Instagram.
Yeah.
What is the event and how long is it?
Okay. It's a day.
It's one day.
It's one day. And there's a bunch of different cars in different classes and they race each other. And the cars roll onto the track, maybe 3 at a time. And they do 2 practice laps. And then they have 3 laps and that's it.
So how many people were there? I always thought this was like a little insular event with 20 guys and a couple of cars.
And they brought out their 550s and they pretended it was the 50s and they dragged people behind them.
But it sounds much bigger.
Yeah, the number I heard is 5,000 and that's limited. And I asked Ferdy, I said, why only 5,000? He said it's limited by the parking. The city only lets them park X amount of cars and that somehow equates to 5,000 tickets.
And are people just freezing their asses off watching this stuff?
Everyone's dressed great. Everyone's totally oh yeah.
What are they drinking? Schnapps or what?
I wish they were drinking schnapps. We were drinking schnapps at night, but I was drinking white wine because Austria.
We get reports. I mean, Zuckerman and I, everybody you talk to would message us and say, "I'm with Johnny right now. Look," and you'd be like this with your face in a beer. They're taking pictures of you.
Oh, nice. I only had. Let's see.
You don't look like a white wine drinker. You don't look like a
white wine.
Chablis.
But
Chardonnay.
the spies were all around. They were all like, I'm with Johnny right now.
Oh, yeah. I met a lot of guys that knew you.
And a lot of guys that said, you're not so bad. We're not as bad as we thought, Lieberman.
Yeah, that's great.
You seem to be nice.
So you get there.
Yeah. I can tell you what happened. I mean, I got to a hotel. I pulled up. And just by happenstance, I opened the door of the car and there's Ferdy. Mm-hmm. So I immediately ditched everyone I was with at Polestar. Like later, and this is the guy. I walk with him. We walk up. There's a little Audi S1, like full sliding around a corner, like throwing snow on you. There's no kind of emissions equipment on it, so you're getting like blasted in the face with like just engine mung, and it's shooting flames. And I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then I just ran into I knew tons of people. And by the way, Spike's Car Radio was very popular among ice racing fans. The amount of people that walked up to me like, you don't know me, but I love your show was
nice.
Huge. And then it's just that. And they had like a Red Bull stunt plane came in. They had, I didn't do it. I should have done it. It was helicopter rides.
At altitude? No. No.
It's not that high up. I think it was only like 4,000 feet up. So it wasn't.
They had nothing safe.
Well, did they drag you behind a car on skis?
No.
Did they even offer?
No, ski jouring, you have to be very talented. So that event is
that's what I want to do,
which was awesome. And it was great. There was a Super Beetle that was towing someone and it rolled and the guy was fine, the guy being towed and the guy in the car. But then they just jumped on the track, flipped it back on its tires and drove off.
Wow.
It was fantastic.
What did they feed you? What did you gorge yourself on?
Let me think. Well,
schnitzels.
Well, while you think about that, let me tell you what I've been gorging myself on. EveryPlate. That's how you get out of a question about what's Johnny Lieberman eating.
Everything. You know,
I had some
on the list of priority questions today.
I had some good Chinese food in
That's number 98.
Wow.
But let me tell you something. Even though Johnny's been gorging himself in Austria, And Zuckerman has been visiting and using his takeout apps more than going to the gym. And no judgment against you, Zuckerman. EveryPlate is what you need. This has to be the most popular sponsor in my house ever in the history of any sponsor. My family's been asking, when is EveryPlate coming back? When they finally came back, this box arrives. It was like Christmas morning at the EveryPlate is here. And like, I understand the enthusiasm from the wife, but the teenage boys who don't get excited about anything, I thought they were joking. My wife she cooked a box of food. It's everything.
Like, are you everything's poverty in the house?
You would think.
Is this the food pantry delivery?
Everything.
Can
I have more?
I'll tell you why.
Get some mush.
You would think that's exactly what's going on here. But everything's portioned out. What it does is it stops her from making mistakes. So in the past, she might have like a recipe that's like, hey, put butter in it. She'll go, I'll just throw the coconut spray in it or something like that. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then everything comes out wrong. She cooks like 2 or 3 of these meals at night, and the kids, they're like food critics at the table. They're terrible. They're like, we love EveryPlate. I'm not making this up. We love EveryPlate. This meal's delicious. Please do this again. Everything's included in the box. Skip the store and enjoy wholesome homemade meals that cost less than groceries. Start with 50% off your first box with code SPIKE50 at everyplate.com/podcast. EveryPlate offer valid with auto-renewing subscription. Oh, is there testimonial there? Oh, look at that from Phyllis Lieberman right there. My husband, Jonny, eats like a wild hog. Please send us 18 boxes of slop a week. I have to go. Wow. He's coming.
What would you slops? What would you do without me? That's all I want to know. Like,
that's the site.
Yeah,
that's the website. Yeah, what am I talking about? What are you talking about?
I'm just wondering.
And Phyllis appears to be afraid of you.
Yeah,
he's coming. I have to go.
She's blinking SOS.
What the hell? Well, we have a very beautiful car here. Talk about popular things on the podcast. The 2025 Lamborghini Revuelto.
That's about accurate, yeah.
There are 2 different pronunciations. There's it's named after a Spanish bull. So when you say the name in the Spanish dialect, you say Revuelto. But in Italian, Revuelto. And there it is.
We say Revolto. But yeah.
Revolto.
Yes, Revuelto is like huevos revueltos.
600 sticker, 608,000.
That's it.
This one is spec'd to about 680 or close to $700,000. This is a V12 hybrid, 1,001 horsepower. It's got 3 electric motors on it, 2 on the front wheels, 1 on the back. This is the most of any Lambo ever, by the way, as far as horsepower. And I believe their first kind of hybrid electric.
Not quite, but close to their first, yeah.
8-speed dual clutch, top speed 218, and a stunning EV-only range of 5 miles.
Yeah.
Which, we can make fun of this, but let me tell you why it's completely usable 5 miles.
Let's hear it.
You want to guess? Take a guess how you
run out of gas?
Take a guess how you use this 5 only electric miles.
When you're leaving your home, and you don't want to wake the neighbors.
That's exactly right.
Or your tennis club, as we do.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
This morning, coming here, people are still sleeping in my house. I went to turn on. I went, oh, shit. And nothing happens. Yeah. And then it just goes, moves away. Everywhere where I'm driving it, because it's so startling when it does start, when that engine kicks in, it explodes. It goes, pa-pow, right? You get this nice exit, and you can decide when you're going to turn the engine on and use it. And then when you do turn it on, this is one of those drives like I had here. I had it, you look down and you go, oh,
yeah,
I'm not supposed to be going that speed.
110 on the 110, yeah.
110 would have been reasonable.
Right.
I thought I was just gliding along. The 405 was kind of open, and this thing just went, and I wasn't being that aggressive, and it just had such legs.
And I think it's like 780 horsepower from the V12, and so it's only like less than 300 for the electric.
I thought it was 800 and
it's 800 metric horsepower. American horsepower, it's like 780.
Looks wise, it's really it's very Batmobile-y.
I like it.
It looks in profile a little bit like a Corvette, which is a little weird. But in person, you can't quite tell from this shot. It's really long and low.
So
and,
long.
It's such a nice thing.
Yeah, I remember I was at the Nardo, big test facility in southern Italy, and when these were camouflaged, and just the length, because I know what an Aventador was, and the length of this, it's about another, I don't know, 8 inches longer, and it's just all the electronic stuff.
They're making about 1,500 a year. They're sold out through 2026, which made me go to DuPont Registry right away and see how many were for sale. There were 15 to 20 there, all around the same price. $750,000.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking, obviously I don't have to pay for this because I've just got it for the week. But would I spend that money on this car? Up until this morning, I was like, it's so much money and a Huracan is so great. You know what I mean? There have been so many great iterations of that car. I'm not sure that I would. And then I went back into the PR email and started looking at some of the videos that they sent. I can't really get to this because Cameron's using the camera right now. He's there. But there's this video where they sent 10 videos to get you up to speed on the car.
Oh, yeah.
And the first one has a guy talking about it. When you listen to him chat and talk, you go, Porsche guy. This guy, he's got the accent. He's talking about engineering. And maybe I missed it. It seemed like Lamborghini was really an emotion first company. Ferrari definitely is, and Porsche's engineering. But it was 20 minutes about the engineering in this car, and they got me hooked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If it's the guy I think it is, he replaced Maurizio, and he first of all, he was at Audi. He was at Lamborghini. He went to Audi.
Right.
And he did like the Ken Block car at Audi. He did all the crazy stuff. His Instagram was Dr. Crazy Official. He's a total wild man, but then he puts on the Lamborghini suit and tie and he's very calm, but bag. So he built.
But when they started talking about the engineering, it kind of hooked me in the way I get hooked when I listen to a Porsche. The guys talk about these new Porsches they're designing, the technology in the Porsche. You can open it up there, Cameron, and look inside. Inside, it's kind of like what you expect. There's they're making a lot about there's a lot more room in it. It's roomier. It certainly is. I don't know how you use that room. Like for me, when I sat down, I just thought, well, chubby guys can sit in here. That's what I felt that room was for.
As a chubby guy who spent a lot of time in Lamborghinis, like, it's great. Yeah.
But last week I was talking about like how the ergonomics of the Polestar 3 and how things weren't intuitive when I first got in. I had to start reading manuals.
Oh, yeah.
This car, I didn't. This car was, again, another kudos to Lamborghini. Everything worked right, and I kind of knew where everything was. And on the steering wheel, there are lots of controls, but they're self-explanatory. You don't really have to read about them to learn how to use them. Yeah, there's a nice little lift on that lower left side below that red button that works great. Active arrow is that little button on the other side. Oh, we got another fly. Look at that.
Die fly. And I mean, this is great. And, it's funny because like when the Aventador first came out back in like 2010, it was not great.
No.
It became great with the SV like a couple years later. But I've heard nothing. I haven't driven the Jeep. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about how this thing actually drives.
This is a terrific car. You got to be a certain type of person, which I'm not, to get in and out of it all the time and to own it. Even if I wanted to spend that money on the car, it's not really me. However, it's really a great car. It's really a great exotic to consider if you want something that is beautiful, is fast, gets a lot of attention, that feels different than normal automobiles. What is it, 0-60? I think is anywhere at 2.3, 2.5.
It's going to be very quick. Any 1,000 horsepower is going to be very quick.
There are moods that you're in when you want an exotic like this. I could definitely... On a sunny day in the summer, I would want to be in something bigger and special that takes a little bit of focus and it's going to get a lot of attention.
And it's not a Ferrari. It's kind of always the
it's not a Ferrari, right?
Advantage.
So we took it to my son and I to Bluey's. Just because Malibu's closed, you can't get down on the PCH. We were like, let's go to Bluey's. So we went to Bluey's, and it was great. It was a fun drive, and we parked it, and I thought, all right, that's a thing. We just did a thing. Mm-hmm. We drove a cool car, had a nice breakfast and some coffee, and drove back, and that felt like something. So, I like it. As far as exotics, give it a 10 out of 10. And that's the Lamborghini Revuelto. When it comes to managing your money, which you'll need to do if you want to get one of those cars, technology today has made it easier than ever to place trades on your phone and be your own portfolio manager. While this has reduced the need for investment managers, you still need financial advice. Scholar Financial Advising is an independent, hourly, flat-fee financial advisory firm that provides financial strategy and advice without you handing over your accounts. No more sales commissions or 1% asset management fees. Scholar works with you to create a personalized financial plan for a flat fee and then works with you on an hourly rate. There they are. Look, there's the whole crew right there. The green dress.
For money.
Yeah, you picked up on it, right?
Of course.
Scholar Financial will answer those daunting finance questions like how much should I be saving for retirement? When can I retire? How do I create a tax efficient portfolio? How much should I be saving for my kids' college? And should I pay cash for a house with a bigger garage? I would say
Yes.
Garage. Yes.
for sure. Anyway, let Scholar Financial Advising provide the roadmap and you drive your car. Not everyone needs wealth management, but everyone needs financial advice. Visit scholarfinancialadvising.com/spike911 to sign up for a completely free, no obligation call to see whether independent, hourly financial advice makes sense for your portfolio. Scholar Financial Advising is a paying sponsor of Spike's Car Radio, and investing involves risk. You can read more about the risks of investing and conflicts of interest in the show notes. Also worth noting, these are Porsche guys. That's why they're on the show.
Yes.
I forgot to mention. Many of our advertisers, by the way, Porsche and car folks. All right, there's a lot we can go through. Speaking of sponsors, I finally remembered to bring that ad that went wrong from last time. I think it was for Miracle Sheets right here. This is the second one.
Yeah.
And here it is right here. This is a message to Sam, who sells our ads, from the representative of Miracle Sheets. This is like a year after it happened, right? I wasn't supposed to see this.
It was immediately after it happened, but for some reason, Sam was like, Johnny, I got to share this, but don't tell Spike.
Don't tell Spike. And so Johnny sends it to me, and here it is. You can have a look at it.
I waited a year. Statute of limitations.
The agency with Miracle just sent the following note regarding the most recent Miracle ad read on SCR. And here it is. The latest Miracle ad on Spike's Car Radio joked about Hitler's penis throughout the ad. Do I really need to tell you that joking about 1, Hitler, and 2, penises is not appropriate in an ad read? The client will not appreciate this at all.
I was in tears when it said
Still don't know what's wrong with our ad read.
I think I remember this show. The first
do.
one, last time we talked about it, it was the other one. Show me this other one right here.
Oh, yeah, the meth in the
That one I couldn't quite recall, right? That was...
I remember that. It was when you got the
saying there's
Aeropress.
meth in the coffee.
And you were
That was like, okay, that's Zuckerman right there.
No, that was you. That was me.
He blames everything on me.
And me. Trust me. Yeah.
And it was
No,
you.
I would never say Zuckerman. I inserted my Johnson in it.
No, that was Zuckerman.
That was Zuckerman. Right.
With the meth in the coffee.
Yes, that was me.
You said it was so strong.
Drugs, wiener.
And if we're looking for a miracle
I didn't say
from our sheets, Hitler's penis would be that miracle.
No, that show, go back to the other one. That show had to do with, they were only on one episode of the show. We had been talking about Hitler's penis.
Yes.
And about Hitler's penis at auction.
At auction. That was
Napoleon's penis. And you could take, if you were the winning bidder, you could take Hitler's penis and put it in the Miracle Sheets and put it to bed.
That was the best transition you ever did, because you were like, speaking of Hitler's penis, antibacterial Miracle Sheets.
Well, we just did a make good for Miracle Sheets.
Oh, they're still
We
not happy.
recommend their product. There's a prize in every pack of sheets. Cracker
You have a
Jack.
different famous historical penis. Galileo's penis. Van Gogh's schlong.
Stephen Hawking.
Is he still around? Did he die?
No. He's quite dead.
He died?
Yes.
Shriveled.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
You know, his wife used to push him out in the sun when she got mad and leave him there.
No, but that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Which wife? The original or the nurse?
I don't know. I thought I read that story and I would always go, God, I wish some of these fights were on video. Like him and his wife fighting would be a wild video.
Well, what was crazy is like when he was in his 70s, I think, he left his wife for his nurse.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was a player.
wild.
And
Yeah.
the wife needed to help him elope. This was not something that he could accomplish.
Is that true?
Yeah. He needed help to do everything. So he somehow managed, still from the wheelchair all verklempt, he managed to convince everyone to go
I just
along
would
with
want to hear the basic husband and wife fight, like her saying, "You're an asshole," and him going, You're insane. You're crazy. Anyway, let's talk about your BMW M5. I wanted to check in about that. What was it, 6 months ago? Almost. Dakar yellow M5 floated under your nose. You were aware of it. Has 600 original miles. The ultimate Zuckerman car. I sold you on it. I said, Zuckerman, you'll be really happy. Let me car match make you. Where is it?
Okay. We are in the final lap. It's at EAG in Cincinnati,
right?
Indianapolis. It's in Ohio somewhere.
Ohio.
It's in Ohio.
Indianapolis is not in Ohio.
Yeah, I know. But it's there, and we have gotten through all of the mechanical and issues that had to be resolved with the car. We had some upgrades done to the engine, suspension. The headliner had to be replaced. It had gone saggy over the years, and it's done. It's going to get test driven tomorrow by Drew Leslie and his team at EAG. And then, provided they don't have any bugs, it's going to get on a truck. And
This week.
Coming here.
Wow.
So,
are you excited about it?
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
Have you been driving the white M?
No, the white one is now transitioned. So that's
I knew
the
this would
problem.
happen. I knew this would happen.
And the white, I'm a big fan of the white one, but
You
now,
love that car.
I do love that car.
Can I have the white one?
You could buy it.
He owes me a Toyota Century. I'll take.
He
the M5.
owes you?
Yeah.
I get him a Buick Century.
Would you ever consider a plan?
With him?
Yeah.
Well, you can't even say my
And
name.
the kid with Richard? and the
I'm trying to come up with the right letter for it.
Plan J.
Not Plan J is Jerry. That's Plan J.
Plan D
Plan
for
L.
disaster. And
Plans.
Oh my God! Here we
I
go.
can't come up.
Plan P for pastrami journalist. Plan S for slob. Plan B for beard
But would you
bacteria.
consider that, or would you just want to sell him the car, or would you let him invest in the car and drive it?
it's going to be, I have to get the yellow card. If the yellow card delivers, and
I think it would be great if it stays in the family. Why not?
right, I've really got to see how I take to the yellow car.
Right.
And what I'm going to do with it. And I should drive the shit out of it. It should just be driven.
Yes.
I should just
The yellow
use
one.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was part of my sales pitch to you.
Yes.
That you have 1, maybe 2 years left before you go.
Yeah. Like his father.
And you should and you should drive that car and enjoy it. This is what you've worked your whole life to get. Don't save those miles.
Well,
drive
wait,
those
wait.
miles.
If it's his whole life, get the Lambo. What are you messing around with a
No,
90
why?
No. We're talking about a perfectly preserved example of a car he already loves, an M5. He loves the M5.
M5s are
and this has
great.
600 miles on it.
673.
Hey, put
probably will
100,000
be over 700 when I get it. But understand, Lieberman, my climbing out of a car like that days are kind of over. The great thing about an M5 is that you sit upon the seat, you do not just dive into it like you're spelunking.
Because the initial buy, the reason no one bought this car was because it was overpriced and it had no miles on it and it hadn't been driven. And my pitch was, Zuckerman, you're a great negotiator, so you're going to get this down, which he did. You love the M5, which he does. And who better to put 100,000 miles on this car before you die in 7 months?
Yeah, well, I mean,
I have that long.
how about will you just put the
Joking.
white car in your will for me?
No, you just have to wait. This isn't about that. Let him drive the yellow car, and then he's gonna. I think we all know where he's gonna go with this. He's gonna let it go.
You think I'm going to release? I'm going to release.
You have to, because in the vintage car, we've learned that frequently 2 of the same thing can cut your enjoyment in half.
Exactly. And it does. The conceit is that it's going to double your pleasure.
Right.
But it actually minuses your pleasure.
Does. Right. And you're going to have something so
it's
great.
addition by subtraction.
Yes.
If I let the white car go, that'd be the right move.
I count 5 911s over there.
What have I been working for?
I'm just saying.
Working still.
But you're really hurting your own pleasure.
Anyway, let's talk about sex. We've been
Yes.
talking a lot about it. You know, if you're Hitler's penis, you need BlueChew. In fact, if you're the buyer of Hitler's penis, you need BlueChew.
If you're Stephen Hawking.
That penis is just sitting there. And if you want to get that Hitler penis right, you want to put a BlueChew right in that little front Hitler penis hole. BlueChew is the original brand offering chewable tablets. These erection-enhancing tablets help men achieve stronger and harder and longer lasting erections for sexual activity. BlueChew is putting its money where its mouth is and offering you a month free. I forgot to do a testimonial with Jonny Lieberman, I think. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever opportunity arises.
Why not a testimonial with Hitler's penis being
should,
rigged up?
It should be the president of Colombia.
I don't have time to do all those testimonials.
If you use too much of my national product, just try these BlueChews.
Does it work? You'll be mistaken for a soldier with that full salute.
Wow.
BlueChew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. There's Jerry's favorite phrase. That's the mission. Make life easier by getting harder, and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for you, the listeners. Try your first month free. BlueChew is free. That's right. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank BlueChew for sponsoring the podcast. Long and storied history with BlueChew on this show.
It is the greatest.
We really could do a collab. Colombia and BlueChew come together.
Do you think I don't think we're going to get an email from BlueChew going, "Hey guys, the Hitler's penis." I think we're going to get a pat in the back text like, "Hey, I love the way you conflated those two ideas. You took that Hitler penis, which is not, it's a flaccid penis. When you buy a historical penis, they're flaccid is how you pronounce that word."
This is coming from experience.
I've followed the penis auctions. The Napoleon penises in particular were very interesting to me when this first happened as a joke writer. Like, what am I reading here? People are buying the penises of historically famous people. Oh man, there's so much more going on. Here, go to this. Here's a little bit of good news. San Mateo story. They're recalling the sheriff. They're trying to recall the sheriff. Sheriff Corpus. This woman on the left. Do you have any idea how this relates to this show? It's hard. It's an unfair question, but do you have any idea?
This doesn't relate back to the Batmobile.
It does, Zuckerman. Very good. Very good.
Is she the Batmobile? She signed off on it?
She was the superior who signed off on it. There was a lesser sheriff who was part of it, right? And you recall that guy was building replica Batmobiles. There was some buyer who wasn't happy with the timeline and somehow got this department to raid his Batmobile place in Indiana, was it?
Another state. It's just
another state, which was insane. An insane waste of money. Insane, yeah. Now they're on the ballot in a couple of weeks to get recalled. And I thought, wow, amazing that the Batmobile guy is getting his justice.
Yeah.
But it turns out here, look at this timeline, Zuckerman. It wasn't the only controversy. Just keep going down.
Wow.
Batmobile raid was the first inkling that something was going wrong. Mental health advocates call for inquiry into 5 jailed. This has just been a shit show.
Look at this every other day.
Keep going down lower. There's just more of it. So lest you think this was all about the Batmobile, I like November 13th. Sheriff says she's not going anywhere.
Yeah, they always say that.
I think you might be.
Yeah. That's like that Menendez guy.
December 10th.
This is a hell of a time.
She refuses to give her story. That's not really a scandal, is it?
But the man dies the next day.
Yeah. It's just a mess.
I mean, small town sheriff. The story as old as time.
Yeah.
I think Robin Hood, the sheriff was a problem back then.
But put up the Batmobile guy. This guy right here.
Oh boy, he's got the ear of the sheriff. Look at him.
He's fantastic. He just wanted to build Batmobiles. I know this lawsuit or this arrest put him on the map, but he was really shaken by it, remember?
Yeah.
We chatted with him.
Anybody would be if they were shackled and dragged into another state against their will.
Yeah. And now he's looking good. So order your Batmobiles.
Done.
Let's right?
Plan BLS that one.
Isn't that a nice little bit of good news in an otherwise dreary news cycle?
Oh, it's been fantastic.
If I'll recall what?
No, if she is recalled. It's bad news if she doesn't get recalled for him.
Oh, look, we just had another zap right there. That's so far successful. The bugs, but see, now there's a bug on your hat.
Let's do the over-under next show of how many bugs die.
Well, I'm going to remember to bring in the extension cord so we can put it right here.
So
we got another one.
We should just leave this on. Just leave this plugged in 24/7.
We have been. So here's some other good news. And this, Johnny, I wanted to ask you about because I can't get a sense of it. We were at a point where it felt like electric cars were coming whether you like them or not. California by this year, it has to be that. Europe by this year.
Yeah.
And now it looks like the electrification of the world is getting sidelined. Porsche is pivoting back to combustion all of a sudden. It's going to cost them a lot of money, but they're doing it. significant expenditures. BMW is suddenly deciding they're going to keep combustion engines. 5 months after his appointment as CEO of Aston Martin, Adrian Hallmark has detailed the brand new direction for the brand. The company is slowing down its transition to electrification and will hold on to combustion engines. This is all good news for gearheads, but my question, Johnny, is what's going on?
So, first of all, 2024, more EVs were sold than in 2023. So, despite all these headlines of everyone's abandoning it, they're not. The rate of growth is slowing down. So, instead of everyone being electric by 2035, it's going to be 2040. It's still going to happen. It's just slowing down. And look,
but how do you say it's still going to happen when Porsche is investing in alternative fuels, and there seems to be a commitment to keep these in the lineup?
Investing in
but you're saying the full electrification of Porsche and BMW is still going to happen.
If I had my crystal ball, I would say that Porsche's plan, which was basically everything other than the 911 and really the GT cars will be electric, is still going to happen. It's, I think that you'll, like this Lamborghini behind us, there'll always be a market for V12s, but for a RAV4, you really need that 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo. That's the hill you die on. Why not make it electric? You double the horsepower. It will be cheaper. The range will be better. All the problems will be solved. So for 99% of cars sold, electrification is totally going to happen. You know this. You have the Model Y. It just drives better than any other small SUV, right? For stuff that, real rich guys that can have whatever they want, Thorsten Veblen's theory, the leisure class, they'll have a V12, and if you know what I'm talking about, electric lights appear, and so only the rich could afford to electrify their homes. Electric light dinner was really romantic. Then electricity is cheap. Everybody gets electric lights. Candlelight, only the rich can afford candles and electricity. Candlelight dinners are romantic. Again, if you go back 20 years, go back to 2005, grab an issue of Car and Driver 20 years ago, every single op-ed, nothing's going to be hybrid. Hybrids don't work. It's a lie. It's a scam. A Prius is more polluting than a Humvee.
No, I totally understand that. I'm with you. But it seems like big companies are going in a different direction all of a sudden.
It's not. It's just they're slowing down the plan. Again, Porsche still has engines. It's not like they have to reinvent the engine.
Right.
It's just
but aren't those restrictions in place? Aren't there deadlines in Europe that they have to hit? Those deadlines in Europe,
right?
No, not in Europe. And again, look, here's the other thing, right? China sells over 1 million EVs a month. China sells 26 million new cars a year. The U.S. market's only 15, 16. So China's 100% EV. No, Europe's going to be 100% EV sooner than we are. America's dragging its feet. We're being stupid. Our new administration, they're going to, I don't know,
not build the charging networks.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, look, is there a guy at the government who has a private charging network that could profit if everyone has to use the Tesla network as opposed to another one? But it's just it's a delay. And again, I go back to 2005 and all the car people, you read nothing but articles about how hybrids are evil. Everything's a hybrid now. Mm-hmm. And supposed enthusiasts, they're creaming themselves over the 3-motor, Lamborghini here.
Yeah.
And I've been telling people that new Bugatti with the V16, they've conned billionaires into buying an EV. That's a freaking Rimac Navara. Yeah. Right? Instead of having 4 motors, it has 3 Navara motors and a battery. And yes, they put this Cosworth V16 in there, and then I need to spend $5 million and buy it. If you look at the chassis of the Tourbillon, it's a freaking electric car. It's a Rimac Navara. So it's just again, there will always be V12s. They'll never go away. There'll be a market for it.
There just seems like there's a bit of a backlash.
Yeah.
Here, throw up this link here, this Waymo. This is a fun story that kind of indicates what I'm talking about. A crowd shatters windows, rips doors off empty Waymo cab stopped in L.A. Play that video if you can. This is great, Zuckerman.
What a city.
This is just... this is what I mean about... This is how I feel like these two stories are kind of related, Yeah. Even though I'm pro EV and I like the idea of EVs and want the air to be cleaner, there is this part of me, and I think part of car culture, that hates this stuff, especially these driverless cars. And look at these guys just rip this one apart. And I don't know. I didn't feel bad for Waymo. Did you, when you saw this, Zuckerman, did you feel bad?
Not really. No.
I felt bad.
To me, it was like when they took the bird scooters and just started throwing them in the ocean, you know?
Because people are offended at the notion of these self-driving cars just going around filming everybody.
Yeah,
They're just there. They just appear. It's something that's allowed to happen. Is the electorate are the citizens really approving that their privacy is invaded this way? And you could really wonder, like, what is this car? Why has it got so many cameras looking at me? And then you see where the shortcomings are. When it gets rear-ended, there's no driver to get out for the exchange of information.
So actually that did happen.
Yeah.
Let's go to this other story right here. This was downtown LA, and Grand Avenue, West Pico. Drivers in it, nobody driving the Waymo, and they get rear-ended. So what happens in that accident, Zuckerman?
This is a problem.
What happens? Like, if I hit that thing, who do I get out and talk to?
That's the problem. That's what I'm saying is that they haven't solved that interaction bit. The pilot of the craft is supposed to get out and handle the exchange of information. You know, the two drivers are supposed to talk to each other.
Right.
And there's only one driver, and it's like our guy who gets caught in the parking lot going in circles, and he's trying to call the Waymo people, and they're like, well, maybe you can go into the app. I can't help you from here.
Right.
And we can't offer you a solution.
And so the people that are in the Waymo, they're stranded. They're stuck in this situation that they can't resolve.
Right. But somehow I think you're going to profit from it greatly.
Usually
I just Waymo
one way or another.
More than five.
I mean, if I'm in that Waymo, right? If I'm the passenger in there, I'm calling you, right? Isn't that
And Waymo is going to have to figure this out because they have what's known as uninsured motorist coverage for their passengers, which means that their insurance company is going to pay for this hit and run business. And the passengers are going to say, look, you didn't, it's a hit and run. You guys didn't get the information.
Right.
We're not responsible for getting the information. So
the Waymo would probably have a camera if the guy had a front plate. You could
okay, but then
if
you
the
don't
guy had
exactly
a front plate.
know who was actually driving. There's all sorts of issues.
This is exactly my question. Let's forget about the guy leaving the scene of the accident. I plow into the back of this Waymo. Right. And aren't you then going after driver error on the part of the Waymo? Did they stop?
No,
do you know what I'm saying, Zuckerman? Like, if some of the stuff I've seen that you do, there's usually two people involved in a little bit of a dance, and there's liability on both sides, right? So how do you approach like the Waymo? How do we know it didn't stop short too quick? Like, how do you get that information?
And then you're going to have this whole argument. It's like trying to get the videos out of Tesla. It's not exactly easy. So Waymo, these folks that are in the car, if Waymo says, well, you people who are injured in the car, you got to go talk to the hit and run people. Well, Waymo, you didn't get the information, and are you going to give us the videos and help us track down who that other driver was? And then are you going to give us the videos that help establish perhaps that the Waymo did something wrong? And then the Waymo is going to say, well, we don't, you might have to sign a confidentiality agreement about this video because it reveals something about the way, that we're doing business and how our technology works. It's a whole...
I get the sense that they're going to be like Uber and just want to settle fast. Let's talk about RaceDeck. You know what they need at Stellantis? RaceDeck in the bathrooms.
Absorbs liquid.
It does. It can handle vehicle feces rolling loads in excess of 80,000 pounds. Doesn't chip paint or steel. It's perfect. RaceDeck, Stellantis. Come on, look at this stuff. You need it. And it was created by our friend Jürgen Mahler, another Porsche guy who came up with the idea after his wife was building these dance floors, and then said the Porsche guys need it. We're going to make great garages. Now it's in all of our garages. RaceDeck is the original modular flooring system engineered for the garage. 33 patents, proudly made in the USA. Installs in just 4 hours without any glues or epoxies. It snaps together. It's in my hangar in Santa Monica. I'm in love with it. It's in Zuckerman's home. He's got it in his garage. And we love it. And remember, the self-draining design allows for things to flow freely.
Tyler, you can clean this up easy, Tyler.
Out the door. Tyler, take note. You don't need to make threatening memos. You need some RaceDeck at Stellantis. Anyway, go to RaceDeck. We love you, RaceDeck, for sponsoring the show. Also one of our greatest sponsors. Go to racedeck.com. Use code SPIKE911 for 15% off and free shipping. SPIKE911, 15% off free shipping. We got a bunch of questions. We'll do a couple of them.
Tyler at Stellantis.
Stellantis! Get all bricked up with Stellantis. We're not even making sense. All right. Yeah. I promise I won't ask questions that we hear all the time.
Okay.
I don't want to hear any more of the 2-car garage, 3-car garage.
I hate it so much.
And I understand it's kind of hard to come up with something original. But you don't have to ask about cars. You can ask any questions you want.
That's right.
What does Zuckerman wear to bed? That's a question I would ask. What do you wear to bed, Zuckerman? This is my question. Like, how do you sleep?
In a cup?
Seriously.
Wear to bed.
Do you have pajamas?
I do not wear pajamas, as you call
Do you have outstretched white underpants with holes in them?
I have, yes.
What do you wear to bed?
Underwears.
You just your underwear.
Just my underwear.
Johnny? No, I don't want to know. Don't
Underwear
answer.
and a t-shirt.
Underwear and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Do you ever think you'll get to the old man pajama state? Or do you just pajamas out of the question?
It will go from my underwears to a diaper. That's how I anticipate the evolution.
I wear pajamas. You know, my family always buys me stuff, so I use it. But I got pajamas at Christmas. I wear them around the house at night now. I lounge around and watch TV.
I put on pajama bottoms. Always a t-shirt. I've never.
I would never
pajama
wear
top.
pajamas to bed.
That's good.
No, you get strangled in that stuff.
Matt Jelinek, our friend from Australia, is a photographer, wants to know your favorite car at FAT.
Boy, there was, I can't remember what it was called. There was this prototype Audi. It was like this monster truck, this black, jacked up on massive studded tires. It just looked so boss going around. It was so cool.
Right.
And then that Audi S1, we don't get those sadly, but they're just little like hot hatches, like the proper European hot hatch. And it was just it won the race. It was just such an awesome car.
Wow.
So those two, yeah.
There was also, what is all this fighting on my Instagram about the ST? There seems to be a lack of understanding with the snarky comments about our deal with the ST, right? That people don't seem to understand the terms of the deal.
Well,
but let's just start first with what that is. My understanding is this: if you're a 918 guy, you could have bought that car outright, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not. We're second class Porsche citizens, you and I, and Porsche Clearwater got us an allocation, and we have there's a lease term. That's for the first year you have to pay the full term of the lease, which we did, right?
Right.
And at the end of that lease term, so we're in the car for a year no matter what.
Right.
We can't get out of that. It's paid for. It's paid up front and it's done, which we don't want to be out of the car anyways. There were all these snarky comments like, you guys are going to keep it for 2 months and the rest of it. If you were following along, the plan was to buy and sell and trade up until we got to the ST, right? Do I have it right? Is that what this understanding is, this misunderstanding is about?
Well, people are so jealous, right? So they see that we get this car, and it's hard to get the car. And by the way, and what people don't understand, before you even get to the place in the Porsche world where you can get an allocation for a car like this, do you know how many Porsches you have to buy? Do you know how?
I don't actually. I can't believe how great Porsche Clearwater is.
Yeah.
I don't think we hit that mark.
But we have historically been big
We've
buyers.
got tons of these things.
Right.
Yes.
And Clearwater
Many
has
GT
been
cars.
very, very good to us, and we've been very good to them, you in particular.
Yeah. No, we love those guys.
But Porsche understands, particularly their experience with the R and some of the other cars they've made. People get these cars, people who don't drive them, and then they quickly capitalize and flip them. And Porsche said, with this car, we're going to devise an economic strategy so that you cannot profit from this car so easily and so quickly. So it's going to be in the hands of an enthusiast who buys it. Now, this method, it's public knowledge. They've advertised.
No,
it.
there's precedent. Lexus did it with the LFA. It was a 2-year lease.
Right.
You
So
had 24 months of hanging on to it before you could flip it.
So somebody made a snarky comment, and they said, And when you explained that, they said you answered my question. Well, actually, there wasn't a question asked, and this is something that anybody could find out if they Googled how was the ST purchased.
I just want to go on record saying I'm jealous of the GT3 RS you got rid of.
That was just a money thing.
I know, but what a car!
It was great. It's the greatest car in the world. Hopefully someone's bought that car already. But
it was the greatest spec. But I will tell you, the GT3 RS may be the better 911.
Six.
I totally agree. I just, again, I drove them both within a week of each other, and I was just so taken with that GT3 RS. And the ST is great, but to me, it's like, it's a $30,000 auction package on a GT3, but the RS was like breaking new ground.
I'll be honest with you, I could be happy with any one of those cars. The 4RS, the GT3 RS, or the ST. I'd be happy with all of them.
On an episode I was on, Jerry was saying, listened to his hysterical, that it's like if you have, he has testicular cancer, and
he went through
robot surgeon or the old surgeon.
That's true. Whole crazy
that
thing.
Was very well done. That was very well done.
I could drive that ST every day.
Yeah.
It could be a daily driver. And from what we understand, the new GT3 Touring will be very similar to the ST.
They always do that.
Which makes it so much better than the original GT3.
That's what they're saying. I'm a little doubtful of that. I think there'll always be a delineation between those two models. But
it's like the 911R and the GT3, the 1.2 GT3 was like it was like a trackier version of the 911R.
Yeah.
I
drove both of those cars back to back, and I saw two very different cars.
Very different.
The 911R is just so special, and I think the ST is special in the way the 911R is.
And I also, though, a base GT3 is special. I mean, the GT division just hammers it.
But there's just a balance. There's such a sound in that 911R. I mean, that's one of I still love that car. I still love that car.
I had the ST and the R side by side, and like I remember 5 years ago, whatever, thinking how great the R sounded. The ST sounds 10 times better.
Yeah.
It's so much better sounding.
So the question is, would it have been nice to have kept that R and have the ST? Or am I better off with the GT2 RS and the ST?
I would have tremendous.
I would have kept the R.
You would have kept the R?
Looking back now, I remember thinking you're keeping the right car with the GT2 RS, but you can't lose. They're both great. Mm-hmm. They're both fantastic. Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about Yapili. Here's another question. Any news of the hybrid hypercar successor to the 918 beyond the Mission X from Porsche? Actually, pull up that. Remember we got this list leaked to us maybe a year ago?
Not even that long.
I thought it would be interesting to kind of check in with it and see where we're at. You're going to have to make it a lot bigger. So where are we here? Look at 992.2 GT2, April 2025. So that would be coming up. Okay. The 99.2 Turbo S. Have we seen that?
Not yet. Coming soon.
Okay. Well, that was supposedly predicted for October. Go down then 918 replacement just says 2025. Think Valkyrie like 963 units. By the way, I don't know what this thing is. Somebody could have just made it at their house, the little spreadsheet.
It's a guy I know that buys a lot of Porsches.
Okay.
Like, a lot. Like he makes you two look normal.
This 992.XXXX, I had forgotten about that. That would be this year. Save your money. Limited number car heritage designs, I'm guessing that is. Looking at the Porsche DNA iconic, maybe as little as 500. What is that?
I'm going to guess that's like, remember the Sport Classic?
Mm-hmm. Another one.
And I think it's another Sport Classic. And again, the Sport Classic is a nice car, but it ain't worth what people are paying for it.
Okay. So and then page 2. But does he have any information, or is he just making stuff up?
There's got to be a 918 replacement.
So there it is. 2027 992.2 Speedster. ST convertible. That makes sense. And then below it, the 918 replacement. That's it right there. Oh, Mission X. If EV only, will only be 300-ish units. That sounds right if they do it.
It's about right.
But are they doing it?
I think they'll have to do it. Yeah, I think they'll have to do it. Especially because they have a 45% ownership share of Rimats. So, that's they got to make these $1 billion EVs. And there is a small market for it.
But they always say they're separate from that company, that they wouldn't use Rimac.
Well, I mean, again, like all the motors and battery technology, the high end stuff is coming out of Rimats. I mean, it just is. And Porsche again owns 45% of Rimats. And then Rimet's bought Bugatti, so they're all tied up.
Will the 918 replacement bring the 918 VIP
That's
program
the real
to
question.
a close? And will there be a new program? I doubt it.
It's weird to have a 918 program extend into a new car for the 918.
Yeah.
I would guess that's a moment to kill it. I don't think they like the 918 program.
That just existed because they had a hard time selling 918.
Yeah, that's right.
It was like, how do we really make it worth your while?
Isn't that crazy?
You can get a turbo. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I had friends that like were having 918s built, and then we're just like, nah, and not because they didn't have any money, they just didn't think it would be a cool car,
Right.
which is insanity because they're awesome.
What is the highest mileage car you've ever owned? Good question.
Ever?
I had
Ever.
my high school and college car at a 1985 Pontiac Parisienne Safari, which is a weird way of saying station wagon. 230,000 miles, it turned into a 7-cylinder, and then I drove it to 278,000 miles, and that was the highest I ever owned, and then donated it.
I'm up in the same, that 74 911 I first had that I bought in Georgia. Sepia brown.
Nice.
That had been turned over a few times and then died while I was driving it. And then my Series 2A Land Rover is about to hit 100.
My Goldwing had over 100,000 miles on it.
Yeah. Targa Casablanca. Have you guys sold the Blue 82 Targa? Yes, we did. But I sent you a new car.
Yep.
Well, that was crazy, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Horizon Blue 79 930 with
6,000 miles.
6,000 miles. That's the magic number. 6,000 miles.
It's just enough miles that it's running right. It's going.
With a tan interior.
Winner of a car.
Spike Africa wants to know what your workout program is, Johnny. Do you have a workout program?
I do, yeah.
Can you do it in like 30 seconds?
Yes.
Ready? Top line it for us.
Steady. All right. You do a deadlift, and then you do some kind of back accessory, and then you go home. Then you wait 2 days, and you do like a chest exercise and a shoulder exercise. So like maybe incline bench and then overhead press, and you go home. And then 48 hours later, you do legs. Right now I'm doing leg press, and I follow it up with hamstring curls, and then maybe like some little bit of shoulder. And that's it. Just repeat. But
you're not talking about one set, right?
No, you do multiple sets. Yeah, I mean, deadlifts, you start, you warm up, and then you get heavier and heavier, and that's it.
So how many sets? 3 sets of 12?
Depends
like
on the exercise. Deadlifts, I would probably do like 6 or 7 sets. Leg press, I'll probably do that many. Bench press, like 3 sets, because it's a weaker muscle.
I posted all 4 cars in my driveway, and a lot of people were like, well, yeah, the Bronco. What car do I drive in the rain? And the choice was the Model Y, this Lamborghini, I think, what do they have there?
Polestar.
The Bronco and the Polestar, correct. Yeah. Francesco Ernesto, 10. There are 10 of those guys on Instagram. Wants me to explain the bird poop cover. Everybody was like, why do you have the Bronco covered in the rain? That's so stupid. But the reason is simple. Where that's parked, because I'm driving press cars this week, is under where the owls stand at night. So I put a cover on the Bronco in the rain, which I normally wouldn't do. But in that spot, I'm protecting the Bronco from giant white owl droppings.
I don't understand what's wrong with the car cover.
Much like Stellantis. Well, they're pointing out, why would you have an off-road vehicle that you beat up on? Why do you have a cover on it in the rain?
Like when I have a press car and I know I'm not going to touch my Toyota for a week, the cover goes on it.
Yeah.
Just to protect. It's my car.
Why not?
It takes 5 minutes of my time. It affects them none.
But the owls.
Yeah.
Who I love the owls, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but the poop.
But Jesus, they can destroy a car real fast.
The tree of bills that people unknowingly park under.
But why would Ernesto say, explain the bird poop cover?
He's outraged.
Explain it?
Are you stupid, Spike?
What heavyweight car journalist showdown do you have planned for Johnny to win his Sheffield GMT back from Matt? Matt was just pretending. A lot of what we do here is fakery. Matt
I missed it.
Made sure that Johnny got his watch. And right after the show, he said, here's Johnny's watch. I don't want Johnny's watch. He said, I love Johnny. I want him to have his watch. And there it is.
Oh, look at that.
So how about that? That's the real Matt Farah.
I'm going to take Matt's the nicest guy. Yeah.
He's the nicest guy in the world. That's nice. All right, let's get one more question here. Final question.
Yes.
From Johnny is my best friend.
Oh, fuck that guy. If it's the guy I'm thinking of.
Could he list his fit? I love his clothes head to toe. We all want to emulate that look. Well, today he's wearing a stained Packers hoodie with multiple stains. Look at the stain.
really
Look at the
stained.
stains.
Yeah, you know, it's really,
He crawled into the Dare or the Goodwill dumpster.
yeah.
And there you go.
I'm wearing my.
It's hard to get in there,
I'm wearing
harder to
my-
get out, but look what you get.
I'm wearing my LA Strong Schwarzenegger shirt. Also, that guy's a motherfucker. Let's not forget. Like this is
Who's that?
The professional troll that for some reason you haven't fucking blocked, even though I ask you to block him every week.
He was mean to
likes
you,
you.
and now he likes you.
No,
And
he doesn't
sa-
like me.
And he says nice
It's
things.
not
He
funny.
does.
It's not funny. It's just it's old. It was funny once. Now it's old.
I
These things
believe,
are funny.
Johnny, look,
Get new material.
Funny to me.
Go fuck
Keep coming.
yourself.
I believe he really does like
No,
you
he
now.
really doesn't.
Let's
like
make a rapprochement on
No,
this.
fuck him. No, fuck him.
Come on.
No, no,
How
no.
do, wait, but why do you think he doesn't like, and I'm being completely 100% serious here, because I called him out and said, look, I think you're treating Johnny, you're very mean to him, and I'd like you to stop. And I sent him a message. I go, it's okay to make poke fun of it, but you're just being mean. You're one of these people, and they've done it to you, they've done it to me before, and I get rid of them. And I said, just don't be mean. If you want to, and he said, you're right. And he's had a bit of an overreaction. He just wanted attention. And now he's your biggest fan.
He's
and
not my biggest fan.
He writes very nice things about
he
you.
doesn't write nice things about me.
I've not seen this. What negative has he written
Hey,
about you?
comedy writer, it's sarcasm. Like
What?
He's being sarcastic. He's being
Oh, I don't.
sardonic about it.
I don't think he is.
No, he definitely
I think
is.
he's being excited
First
about
of all,
you.
first of all, he knows because first of all, he's obsessed with me. So he knows one of my big pet peeves is when people call me John. So he changed it from Johnny is my best friend to John is my best friend.
See, now I didn't even
He's
know
a
that.
needling dickhead.
Oh wait, hold.
No,
how did,
he's
Needling dick. Needle dick.
Yeah.
wait, why? Wait, why do you not like being called John? I didn't even know this. Did you know this?
No.
It's not my name.
But how did he know this?
Because people will write things like, "Hey John, blah blah blah," and I'll always or that's my name wrong. And I'll
you
always
opened
reply.
up the door.
But I've been doing this for years.
Okay,
This
so
is
that's-
the thing I do online.
Look,
my
I-
name is Johnny.
I accept that might be true then.
Yeah, no, it's totally true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Needling.
7.
He's needling you.
What else has he done that's because I will ban him if you ask me to ban him, and now
I've
you,
asked you to ban him repeatedly.
yeah, but now you've given
I say things like, Spike, I don't ask for a lot. Could you ban this motherfucker?
But I can't-
And you say, no, he loves you.
I can't ban someone without real evidence, but you just gave me the first piece of real evidence, and I believe you.
You could ban him. You could ban him.
Not
without
just
real
based
evidence.
on hearsay.
No, you totally
I
could.
want to be very fair
Why-
to the people
why
who are
not?
You got to prove it to him. You
gotta
wanna
prove
be
it.
fair.
Your
You wanna be
Honor,
fair. He just
Your
wants
Honor,
it.
But you're asking me to ban someone who's following me, not you. So I do have to be fair.
Really?
But you just look, stop. You're going in the wrong direction. You proved
Yes.
that he's calling you a name that you don't like to be called. And
Yeah.
that's a piece of evidence I'm paying attention to, and I'm admitting to the Spike ban court.
All right.
Judge
Is there
Judy.
anything else? Is there any other proof?
He's a cocksucker. I mean, that's number one.
Yeah, but can you prove that
Yes.
he's a cocksucker?
Yes, I can prove he's a cocksucker. I'd have to pay more attention to him. I just I do.
Are we banning him now?
I'm going there right now, Johnny.
Nice.
I'm going to give you this.
The problem is
There
he
it
comes
is.
onto my posts and comments, and I don't want to block him without you blocking him because then he'll say stuff that I won't be able to see on your page.
You just got to let it go. All right, just for the record.
Well,
All it says here is Johnny's #1 fan. If you really want me to ban him,
I don't give a fuck.
I'm
man.
gonna ban him right
I
now.
don't give a fuck. I
Make a
don't
decision.
like that you defend him. Oh, ban him.
all right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Should I report him too?
No.
We're going to end the show on this.
Okay.
This is the end, everybody.
Ban him.
If you enjoyed John is the best Instagram and his comments on the show, you'll no longer get to see them.
Banhammer.
You ready?
Yeah. Nice.
Dun, 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 dun.
8. That's like another fly
He's
gone.
been blocked
Nice.
and reported. 8 flies gone, and that's our show. We'll see you next week. I'm going to have that Gunther Works car here. We'll see you next week. Spike's Car Radio.